Good evening, everybody. Welcome to this 1 hour meditation session via the Google Hangouts Meet and YouTube Live. You can join this meditation via Google Hangouts Meet if you want to interact with me, or just want to watch it. You can just join the YouTube Live, which you can only watch the video there. This session only lasts 1 hour, so during the very special situation of the coronavirus, so we try to organize 2 sessions per week, Monday and Wednesday. So for each session, it only is 1 hour, and so we only covers the basics of the meditation. Hopefully, you can practice at home to keep yourself calm. It's not easy for everybody to go through this disruption of the habits, your lifestyle. And for people who is still in very good condition and very healthy, they are worried about the virus. They don't want to contract it. So a lot of thoughts has gone into that, which is easy, generates fear and anxiety. So for us, it is a good moment to observe the mind, observe the reaction to this situation. Actually, physically, you are perfectly okay now, right? But mentally, you might feel a little burdensome, anxious. So it is really a wonderful moment now to observe the mind, observe how did you react to this situation. You might think that the virus can be very threatening, can cause you pain, even bring you to the door of death or whatever. But you might also notice that all of this is your thought. We have very complicated mental activities which really make us feel miserable. The problem is not to have these thoughts, because thoughts is a part of the brain, the mind, which is you can't really control it. But the problem lies in the fact that we don't have the awareness of the thoughts when we are into it. Like our life habits, our lifestyle. Why we call it a lifestyle or habit? When we have the habit, actually, it means that we don't have the awareness of that. So the habits are created automatically. So recently, a lot of measures have been taken to stop the spread of the virus, and this inevitably disrupt your life habits, and you have reaction to it, which is probably beyond your consciousness, beyond your control. Just like if someone has kept smoking for 30 years, then when he tried to stop smoking, he also have these reactions to it, because the disruption of the habits can cause some disturbance of the mind. And for most people, they try to avoid this disturbance as much as possible. At the same time, they are still disturbed by all kinds of things. You see, the mind is full of chaos. The chaos is purely made by ourselves. A lot of things, a lot of problems is really self-inflicted, isn't it? So we need to laugh at ourselves, truly, indeed, because we are one of the most amazing joke makers on this planet. We create a lot of dramas for life, and we just believe in it. We are living in a make-believe world when we have no awareness that we are the script writer of the drama. To understand, or simply to end the suffering, end your suffering, my suffering, we need to understand how the mind works. We need to understand ourselves as the script writer of this drama on our life stage. Our mind is very deceiving, is it? In different situations, we are caught up in different emotions, and we are dominated by that. And at that time, we thought that was our feeling, so we followed it. Now, the situation has changed, so our feelings is also changed, and then we still follow the feelings. Purely follow the feelings is a mindless gesture, because the feelings is misleading. We have a lot of emotions and feelings arising from the reactions we are caught up. Without realizing and deeply feel the issues of the reactions, simply following the feelings only misguide us. This misguidance is everywhere in your life, in my life, right? So, to understand how those chaos are generated from the mind, which then leads to the chaos outside the world, that's to meditate. It's really not something only sitting down here to meditate. Definitely, which is part of the meditation, of course. We need to calm down always, deeply, but understand deeply how the chaos are generated because our ego self. That's the meditation that leads us to awaken to this chaos, to this game. If you do not realize that you are in a game, I guess you definitely encounter some challenges in one way or another. Because it's easy for people to take seriously something that they should have not taken seriously. We have too much judgment in life. We made too many statements, too much judgment. But we could not be critical. From my experience, as I observe, 99% of the academia staff can't think critically. It might be a little exaggeration, but that's a well-known fact. We can be very judgmental, but it's very hard to be critical. To be critical requires people to understand the true nature mind. But understanding the true nature mind requires a lot of attention, efforts to keep your mind being distorted by this outside world. For this part, it's very difficult for most people. So without truly understanding the nature mind, we couldn't really think and do things critically. But we can make judgments very easily. Everybody can nowadays, right? We had internet. Everybody can voice themselves through the internet to influence others. Even now, I'm also influencing you to some extent. But I just want to raise awareness for that, because the influences is unavoidable. Influences are everywhere. People make a lot of judgments. If you take it seriously, it just gets into you, and you get annoyed because there must be some mental conflicts triggered by these judgments, statements, whatever. So truly understand the nature of mind is the key. It's probably the only way to be truly critical. Many people say, oh yeah, it's critical, but actually it's not, because the language is very limited, and we only project ourselves through languages. To understand all these skills around you, around each body, that's to meditate. To understand this mental structure across the society, the hierarchies, the all kinds of intimidations, discriminations, all kinds of academic misconduct, all kinds of inappropriate behaviors, all kinds of academic bullshit. That's to meditate. Seriously. Because meditation requires to be serious about mind. That's the only thing we should be serious about. But most people are not. They are only serious about the things that they are attached to, which inevitably triggers all kinds of mental conflicts between people. You are attached to this, and I'm attached to that. And then we compete, we compare. You see, to truly understand this mentally, this mindless, chaotic world, in you, in me, in everybody, that's to meditate. The first step to deeply understand the chaos of the mind is or the chaos of the inner world, or the chaos of the outer world, is to observe how easily the mind can be disturbed. It is really easily disturbed, isn't it? Some people might find it difficult to admit that, but I think it's a fact. Everybody can feel it deeply. Look at your mind. How easy for you to be in the mood of rumination? How easy for you to fall into thoughts, fall into calculations, speculations? If you are still not convinced by what I said, let's do a meditation in a few minutes to feel it, to notice that how easy the thoughts pop up to distract you. So when you really feel how the mental disturbance can happen so easily, I think you will get some intuition that how easy the mind can be chaotic. So now let's meditate to calm down the mind, to calm down the nerves, which is beyond your consciousness. You try to control your thought. I'm sorry, you can't really control it. The very action to control something only leads to new thoughts and make the mind more active and chaotic. I think you feel it that deeply than I do, I guess. So to meditate, we just need to let go of the thoughts. Try to focus on breath. Thoughts are over there, but we never identify with them. We never interact with thoughts. During the next 10 minutes meditation, let's try our best to focus on the sensation of breath and notice the breath circle, in breath, out breath, and the pause between the in breath and out breath. And also, try to be aware of the thoughts. When the thoughts pop up, let be, let go. Don't interrupt thoughts. Just focus on breath. I think everybody will be amazed that how easily thoughts can pop up to say hello to you, and how easy you are to be carried away by thoughts. You don't need to criticize yourself if you have been carried away by thoughts by numerous times. It's typically common. But I just want you to deeply feel that the how thoughts can affect your life so deeply without your awareness. To meditate is to bring this awareness back to this space, to your consciousness. And based on that, I hope you can start the exploration of your inner mind, the inner world. Also, the outside world, which is mere projection of the inner world, isn't it? Okay, let's meditate. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Breathe naturally. As you breathe in, be aware that you are breathing in. Feel the sensation of breathing in. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. As you breathe out, be aware that you are breathing out. Feel the sensation of breathing out. The region can be the nostrils, can be the belly, can be anywhere. Focus on the part you feel most. Fix your attention on the breath. Let go of any thought, words, images. This moment, nothing is more important than breath. Surrender yourself to this moment fully. every time you hear the bell, check where your attention is. If it wasn't on the breath, gently invite your attention back to the breath and sustain your attention on the breath. Slowly bring your awareness back to this room. Feel into your body. Wiggle your fingers and toes. When you are ready, open your eyes. What a soothing meditation session, is it? I hope everybody in the past 10 minutes has reaped some peace and calm from your daily activities. From this meditation, of course, but we need to notice that and how we are influenced by the daily activities, by your social contact, by your work, by the things you have written or have spoken. To understand you are an animal, not a machine, it's the first step to meditate. We are not machines after all, are we? Machines can do things mechanically, but nowadays it seems that we are also doing things mechanically. Then we can develop the robots to replace us, to replace the to replace the mechanical beings. Look at ourselves honestly. Don't run away from that. Don't interpret it using all kinds of reasons. Don't be cunning. Cunning is not intelligence. To my experience, there are more cunning minds in academia than the intelligent mind. So, to some extent, being cunning is very similar to being intelligent. But to really know the difference between that, you need to know the nature of the mind. To recognize the cunning moment we have gone through in life. To stay things as they are. Just observe it. No any interpretation. This action is hard. Because we had the habits to interpret. We had the habits of overthink. We have the habits of reactions. To meditate is to deeply realize why we are now at this moment. To deeply understand the second-hand soul, which is growing in most people's mind. Why is it called second-hand? Sounds a little unkind, isn't it? But it is a fact, isn't it? Our life is a consequence of the influences and habits. How many things are really first hand? We are kept being influenced. We all the time, right? We have a lot of numerous habits established without our awareness at all. With that state, we still think, judge. We need to look at the part of this chaos to deeply understand how mechanical we have been. Mechanical thinking, right? Thinking always following some tracks due to the influence from other people. We have so many conclusions, which is just simply block us from exploring deeply. Based on the conclusions, we made a lot of other judgments, distorting the mind further. To deeply aware of the mechanic life is to meditate. Mechanic means repetition, means some pattern. That's why we are developing artificial intelligence. Look at name. We just use intelligence to represent this kind of mechanical stuff. For most of us, we don't understand. For most people, they don't understand what is intelligence. For these people who are doing research at AI or whatever, how many of them do they really understand the intelligence? It just a fancy name to attract your attention, right? Wow, artificial intelligence, but it is artificial, really artificial, is it? Look at the name in the past. It's called a pattern recognition. This is a fairly honest name because it's just pattern recognition. But now we just write up into artificial intelligence. Look at the shitty and party mind. Look at the hype around AI. So when we realize, okay, AI really is something not very effective, we develop another term called human-centered AI. Actually, it's just a acknowledgement that the AI is just something called pattern recognition. It's far away. It's no near intelligence at all. Even now, when we look at the mind, if we don't understand the nature of the mind, there's no way talking about intelligence. Our life is full of intellect elements, logic stuff. But when you really look at that part, you might notice that the logics can be very mechanical. Logics in different domains could not really be compatible. But it does not hide the fact that they are mechanical. Things which are mechanical can be incompatible. But things which is called intelligent is always compatible, which means that there's a wholeness, the totality of it, which could not be fragmented by anything, which is could not be divided by anything. When you understand the totality of the mind, the intelligence arises. Yes, intelligence comes from the totality, comes from the integrity. Yes, integrity. So this part actually is rather beyond language. I try to speak about that now, but you need to feel it yourself by understanding the nature of the mind. This is a journey, different. Every it's a journey that everybody has different way to approach. So you have your own journey to explore it. I have my journey, but we will be converge eventually if both of us really grasp the nature of the mind. So each of us has a lot of experience in the life, and this experience will tell you and will reveal how mechanical life is. It's something, just avoid it. We didn't say that, but let's just observe the life, observe the mechanical life. With that awareness, I think you will have something new to do. Just be aware of the mechanical lifestyle, the habits, the ingrained beliefs, ideologies. You don't need to renunciate or support it. Don't do that. Just be aware of the influence of those things on your life. You say, meditation is not only about breath meditation, to sit down, to quieten the mind, which is of course very necessary and very important. But it also includes another very important part, is to deeply understand the nature of the mind. You might achieve that by meditation itself. You observe your mind, the thoughts, how the thoughts are generated. You can also achieve that by your life experience. Can be something mystical, but it's just because a lot of the mental activities is beyond the language. We couldn't really describe it. So it looks very mystical, but when you really experience it, I don't think you will find it so mystical. Everything's clear. The clarity of the life is there. Right? The clarity of the life, the clarity of your mental world. When you are no longer confused, what would be your life like? Those things really deserve the reflection, reserve our efforts and attention in looking into it. Right. Meditation is a journey. Belong to yourself. Belong to everyone themselves. You are alone all the time, but you won't feel lonely, because when you're really into your mental world. You will know. You will truly understand. You will find joy from within. The peace just come from within, without relying on any conditions, any habits, any reactions. Of course, this 1 hour session could not let me to tell you everything about mind. Even I can finish all the things in 1 hour. It's still not yours because you need to experience it. Simply understand what I said might be misleading for you. And please don't take what I said seriously about your mind, okay? Maybe some of my words can be inspiring, can give you something to think or ponder over, but you need to examine your mind to corroborate those facts. Arguing with people doesn't help because the limitation of language is between you and me, right? We always use the same words, but we have different perceptions. Don't do that. Look within. Observe your mind without words. Then you'll find it. Okay, so this is the third part of the meditation session, which is just something we talked about, the mechanical life. So yeah, sorry, something's wrong with the internet. So now the live stream has been restored. Okay, for the last part of the meditation session, let's just meditate to come down again. To retain peace and calm. Let's do it now. Now, let's take a 10-minute meditation. Start by taking a moment to find a comfortable position to sit in a posture that you feel relaxed and get alert. Let hands rest on your knees or laps. Let the eyes close gently. Soften your forehead. Act a soft smile in the corner of your lips. Focus on the part you feel most. Fix your attention on the breath. And sustain your attention on the breath. So during during this, during the recent situation of the coronavirus, everybody stay home, stay safe, and slow down your life a little bit to observe your mind, to take care of that, Finally, being here tonight via the internet to spend the past 1 hour together meditating. And I hope everybody stay peaceful.